Another day, another keyboard. This one is quite special. Banggood was kind enough to send me a keyboard. Even though I am affiliated with this product, I shall be completely honest on what I think about it. Though I do have to say, it's gonna be sweet and delicious because it involves pudding. No, not that kind of pudding, but pudding keycaps. Yeah, for those pudding keycap lovers out there, this one's for you. It's the MK61 by Gamakay. You know what? My first mechanical keyboard was actually a Gamakay keyboard called the K66 that had a beautiful translucent frosted acrylic case. I don't have it with me, but I completely adore the RGB on that thing. It's like a disco ball on my table. Maybe this MK61 might be a better alternative for that. Now, let's unbox the MK61. Inside the kit, we have a tiny manual, the keyboard itself inside a plastic wrapping, a white 1.6 meter nylon braided USB-C cable, and some nice extras. The angled cable feels good, not too shabby, but I do have a feeling it might get dirty after a while. For those wondering if it fits coral cables, yes, it does for mine. So cable fit is good with this one. For the extras, it comes with 4 switches, 1 keycap puller and key switch puller. I really appreciate brands are starting to realize this wired keycap puller is the best compared to the bunch of plastic ones I got from others before. Gamakay, good for you to realize that. As for the switch puller, it's this small, thin metal one that does take out the switches well enough, but not easy to hold, even for small hands like mine. Hopefully, they'll change it to ones with a longer handle to hold, like this IC puller here, which may be better for bigger hands or for a firmer hold. We also got 4 extra Gateron optical switches. It's nice that they provide different switch types because let me tell you, before I got my first mechanical keyboard, I had no idea what tactiles, linears, or clickies feel like. Like, how am I supposed to know what a bump feels like? So to have them give different switch types to test is a bonus for me. Definitely worth it for someone who just got into the mechanical keyboard hobby. As for the build quality, it's so-so, since it is a budget-friendly keyboard and most of the time it is made of plastic materials like this one here, but the plastic case is good, no flex and pretty solid, but it does sound echoey and hollow, though there are no cool, unique design or etchings on the side that makes it stand out like the royal clutch. Instead, there's a nice shine at the rim of the case that adds a nice touch, and it has 4 black rubber feet. I wished they had a built-in stand, though that would be a lot nicer, but nah, it's not a big deal for me anyways. Here's the exciting part. The stock keycaps are made of plastic double-shot PBT pudding keycaps. Ah yes, the feature I adore the most about the MK61. For those who've never heard pudding keycaps before, where have you been? Come on. So the word pudding comes from how it looks like. It has this translucent dual layer style where the bottom part allows more light to shine through it. It looks like pudding. It's so cute and I just want to eat it. For some sort of reason, I really like the font of the legend on it. It's giving me this space sci-fi futuristic font style that absolutely fits well with the aesthetic of the white keycaps. Okay, the RGB on this thing is one of a kind because it has this nice RGB hue to it I've never seen before. It's a lot less saturated and more softer in color than your typical RGB keyboard, making it look more glowy, and I really like the lighting effect options. This one here is definitely my favorite one. Some I've never seen before. I like how the RGB is soft and not too in your face compared to the K66. The The software, well, for a small 60% keyboard, I would expect they have a good software to make the most out of the limited amount of keys, but I'm quite disappointed. The MK61 software is great in terms of customizing the RGB lights, macros, and has a maximum of 4 layers to choose. But it took me a few days to finally understand what the GUI meant. Even then, I still don't know what this means. Like, what does this do? But I do like that you can import or export your keyboard settings. It lacks user-friendly buttons and has no mouse hover labels on the symbols that I have no clue what they stand for. It would be nice for them to include a documentation of how the software works. But no worries, I'm sure they'll go through software releases in the future to make it even better. As for the optical switches, the switch options they have are blue, brown, green, red, and yellow Gateron switches. The one I have here are the Gateron blue clickies. Clickies are so satisfying to type with, but it's too loud for online video calls and for working at night. I would go for the Gateron yellow or black. And if you are planning to change your switches, you can only hot swap it with the same Gateron brand, and you cannot use other optical switch brands, as the PCB will not support it. Optical switches use light to actuate, and do not use pins like mechanical switches do. And here's a fun fact, you can actually modify your optical switches by switching out their top housing, spring, or stem to something else. I love the sound of yellow Gateron Milky housing, so I swapped its top housing and stem with the blue optical switch. And it sounds a lot more thocky, which I really like. If you want to modify your optical switches, it's definitely possible. I'm not a big fan of optical switches, even though it feels a lot smoother, easier to hot swap, and lasts longer, but it has its limitations when it comes to variety and options. For optical switches, you're mostly stuck with the generic switch types like the red, blue, black, yellow switch. But when it comes to mechanical switches, you'll have a lot more variety, color, tactility, design, profile to choose from. It's a lot more fun to have. And here's a quick sound test. So guys, if you were to ask me who is this keyboard for, this keyboard would definitely be fitting for someone who loves RGB and wants to brighten up their desk setup, don't mind the small 60% layout and using the function keys for the arrow keys or for most keys, because I know that bothers some people. For people who want to try or use pudding keycaps without buying them separately, wants an easy to carry, less hassle keyboard that's also budget friendly, perfect for those that likes a clean, minimal look and looking to increase their desk space. If you want to support my channel and buy the MK61, you can check out the Banggood link in the description below. Honestly, I like the look of MK61. I just couldn't take my eyes off of it. It was so mesmerizing to look at. I like that Gamakay now makes keyboards that do come with stock pudding keycaps, so you don't have to buy a separate set and waste those extra keycaps for a smaller keyboard. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, don't forget to subscribe.